It's one of those vehicles you fly one, you fly them all. Like maybe like Swiss did a different modification, like to the guns have like Swiss variants. Like every country, like, oh, we want the ME-109, so we're gonna put like the caliber rifle that caliber machine gun we use. Like, luckily, when we went to war with the British, we were a Dominion of Britain, so we got all the same shit Britain got. Really, we made half of it. Winnipeg. The reason why the Blue Bombers are called the Blue Bombers because that's where the Mosquito was built. They had a major mosquito plant there. They also made Spitfires. Montreal Motor Works made tanks. Avro Canada. That was where Pearson. The modern Pearson Airport literally is. What was that? So the northeast corner of Pearson, where I think runway H sits today, is the current run is where the Avro manufacturing plant used to be. That's where they first started building the Avro Lancasters, Lincolns, switched to the Canucks. After the Canucks, they built the Arrow, and then they shut down. And then pretty much the land was annexed by the airport. Destroyed the factory, and the rest is history. It took me years to figure out where that plant was. Because my parents remember that area just as an empty field. It's like, oh yeah, we used to park here at the old gravel pit there. It's like, what, on the north end of the runway? It's like, yeah, no fences, no nothing. It's like, and then it all makes sense. I told my dad, it's like, no, that gravel pit you told me next to the, it used to be next to the airfield. It's like, yeah, that was Avro's production plant. Nothing remains of that site at all today. But it's nice to know, like, oh, alrighty then. And so, Pharaoh, when Avro Canada died, pretty much so did the Canadian Military Aviation Department. Which we're scrambling today to find new military contractors to build us equipment. No matter, we had a fucking organization devoted to it. Oh, what are we going to use to replace the F-18s? I don't know. Maybe we should buy the same F-18s made from the same batch that was the current ones are flying from the Australians. There's a genius idea. Maybe we should build more Maybe we should bring back the Avro Arrow. First thing I said is like, yeah, no. It'd be great to have the Arrow, like a modern day version of it. Like take the schematics or what's ever left of the plans that managed to not get destroyed were stolen before the Air Force were ordered to destroy all the plans and completely reverse engineer and rebuild, like modernize the aircraft, which would be amazing. I'd be down with that. Like, modern day equivalent to the Avro Arrow tearing up the skies. But with the Arrow, you have to have the Iroquois engine, which doesn't exist anymore because the Arrow died. So did that. All projects revolving around the Arrow died. It's been awesome if. Oh, his turning radius sucks. Well, there's no recovery now when my engine was hit. Yeah, so I saw it back in like 2013. I saw a model of and a concept of what this plane would look like, and it looks like make it look like a modern day stealth fighter, like the F-35 and the F-22 are, and it probably performed just as good or better than them. But 1952, like like the mid 1950s, we had a jet fighter that would rival the Voodoo and maybe the F-18. Like the damn thing was a generations beyond what aircraft today or aircraft in the 80s and 90s were at. And that was in the 1950s. Well, looks like this one's a wash. Oh, we got backup. Oh, that sounded like I got another air kill. I'm at 4. But yeah, I'd like to even if Bombardier got their heads out of their asses and started building military aircraft, we'd see a change on Canadian production. Like, we got to stop relying on other people to build our stuff for us. The only war production that we have in Canada is our ships. The ships may be built here, but nothing on them is built in Canada except for the hull. Saab built the engines for the CPFs. The Sea-Wiz is controlled by as an American company. The Phalanx weapon system on the back end. The Americans built all our missiles. Bofors built the main guns. Like nothing on the CPFs is Canadian, except for the hull. Mission fail. Like our submarines were retired British ones. They took almost we started getting those, what, 2001, 2002? And we didn't get them online until, what? Victoria was still in the dry dock in 2000 and I left Victoria 2010 to go to Comox. I went back to Victoria in 2012. Victoria was still in the dry dock in 2012, so there's 10 years there. Went to Trenton in 2016, went back to Victoria for another course, and Victoria was still in the dry dock. At this point, the Corner Brook went to the West Coast for training with to prep to go into dry dock in Victoria after Victoria was done. No. Yes. It was right around that time frame. At this point, the Chicoutimi was brought over in 2013, and she was put in. They built a building to rebuild the Chicoutimi because her fire, when she was brought over from England, she spent. She went into the building and because we put the Regina into dry dock in 2000, 2009, 2010. No, it was 2010 because February 2010 because the Olympics was on. I was on part of the Regina when we did all the prep for the Olympics. Did training with the Americans doing boardings because the Navy did naval and air security for Vancouver. So we had a weapons screen over the city. So if there was any funny business, we could react to it. So we did all the prep for that in November of 9. Went in, got just preparing the ship for the ditch. Winnipeg and Calgary did all the stuff for the Olympics. And at that point, the Chicoutimi was delivered to Victoria, put onto our dry dock side of the base, and rolled into a building. She stayed there till 2017, where she was officially did her trials, did everything, and that ship was good to go and actually deployed before Victoria was even in the water. And then both of those ships had to go back in for more work. At this time, the Corner Brook came over, like I said, and she ran aground on a shallow reef, ripped her lower hull open like a tin can, and then she is in getting the completely Canadian modernized treatment that the other two subs got. I believe the Chicoutimi was transferred back to Halifax, and the Windsor is just finishing her modernization. Like these subs are just money pits. We should have just bought new or got freshly retired LA class from the United States. But because of the treaties and some crap about nuclear submarines, nuclear ships in general, Canada will never have a nuclear powered vessel. And I found that out because I lived in BC for 9 years. Especially in a space when any of the nuclear vessels come in, the aircraft carriers are too big to fit in Victoria. So they have to go in Anchorage just outside the base. Because one, they're too big. And two, they're nuclear. When the United States brings their submarines in, we have to put an exclusion zone around the sub. Because, well, it's a nuclear ship. And then, well, they don't have any surface ships anymore that are nuclear capable. The last one was a cruiser. And it's currently just the rear half of the hull. And it's currently in the Puget Sound outside of Seattle at the naval facility there. It's where they send all of the nuclear vessels to be decommissioned. The Kitty Hawk's there, but she's being sent to Razor Blades because she's diesel. The Constellation's there. The Enterprise just went there within the last 5 years. She was decommissioned, and the two nuclear ships, until they figure out how to deal with the reactors, they're sitting pretty because there's nothing they can do. There's no facilities that we can decontaminate this stuff. Like, oh yeah, use nukes. Use nuclear. And do what with it? At least uranium, we can put it back. When we have spent uranium, we can just put it back in the mines we pulled it out of. That's what they're doing. They're sending them back to the mines. All right, so J11. Let's take a look at this. Oh, look, an empty slot right there. Okay, and I can't go any further until I unlock at least one of these. Let's get the bomber done, because we all know I like playing bombers. So there is the J11. Let's go into the specs. It's literally just called the J11. J11 1.5. No, TV's here. So it has 12.7 millimeters, 50 cal. 250 cals at 1.3? What? I don't see 50 cals usually to like 1.7. We're going back up. Yeah. So Victoria is kind of like the little CP Squimalt. The base is huge. Not in the sense of the actual dockyard is not that big. The facility across the harbor where we keep the clearance divers and a damage control school, that side's not that big. Our weapons depot is quite large. And then we have big range on the edge of the city, as well as a big weapons range off the west coast of the island. And all of the former gun positions, except for the ones in the city, which were all gifted to the city from the Navy, or other way around, all of those old gun positions are still property of the Royal Canadian Navy. Most of those sites fall on other sites that were still being held by the Navy. We have a lighthouse. It's a lighthouse in Victoria called Race Rocks. It's close to one of our demolition zones. We have issues with the whale watchers there because the whales hide there because they seem to know it's like a no-go zone for these guys. Come on, choose him. I remember why I hate arcade. At least the guy who ran me didn't get the kill. So, I've been hearing, I watch Fly Daily on YouTube because does great content for War Thunder. And he was saying there has been rumbling in the War Thunder community, I should get on there, about adding World War I. But where would World War I fit? Because literally this game starts at the interwar period. So if you have the interwar period already taken care of, where are you going to put the planes that came before the interwar period? Like a subsection or a subparagraph? Because it doesn't make sense to have like World War I aircraft at like at reserve that didn't work. Let me guess, the hurricane flew away. I got the kill. But he's probably gonna... Yeah, he got the kill for me. Nice. It'd just be interesting to see. Like, I even heard they're possibly bringing the Arrow into this. The Arrow would be a nice aircraft to bring in. Like, just see where it fits in, where they plan to put it in. It's like, are they gonna do it with the Arunda engines that 1 to 4 had, or 1 to 5 had, or are they gonna use the Iroquois engines that number 6 had? It'd be cool to see that thing with flying with the Iroquois. I think it's leaking oil. I think it's so cool with the. I learned about the Iroquois engine. I learned it a lot. Like I was still in high school and learned it. They strapped one to a B-47 Stratofortress on the tail section. So it's the only Stratofortress the Canadian forces had. We leased it from the United States. So they mounted this engine on the back of this 6-engine bomber. When they were in flight, they fired up the Iroquois and they turned off the other 6 engines on the bomber, and the bomber was picking up speed with 1 engine. That's how much power the Iroquois engine had. And the Arrow had 2 of them. And it was hitting Mach 2 with the not so good engines. Like the airframe was amazing. That might help. Armored targets. Ju-88, that has a bite. God, its engine on fire. This piece of shit. Nice. Nice. That would be rank. That would be a rank, doesn't matter. I lost track of them. Yeah, we haven't figured out. I'm a encyclopedia of absolutely useless knowledge. And it's all over the map. That's why I said like my area's speciality is usually between the mid till the late 1800s to Korea would be the safe bet, but I know a good chunk about Vietnam too. So the mid 20th century, but I know a fair chunk about Roman, Vikings, like all that stuff. That stuff interests me. Sweet. Vikings really interests me, actually. I actually started looking into Vikings after I watched the first show of Vikings, because actually the lore actually incited me. I liked learning about that stuff. Fighter rescue, bomber rescue, shadow strike. 3 of them. Jesus. Oh, times 3. Okay. Double strike. There it is. Rank does not matter. I figured that was. I figured I'd get that one. So that sucks. That sucks. I gotta unlock some stuff. I can't say that one sucks yet. And doesn't matter what variant this is. I like this plane. Okay, so let's play some français. So what's this, arcade? No, realistic. So let's get some bombing in. So I'm playing this a couple times this week. Actually, I got some funny reactions. I took off the airfield with this, but yeah. So playing this, I've been trying to get a lot of the first rank stuff. Oh, there it is. So I'm working on this one's successor, the 223. Let's take a look. So this one, literally, it's just a modernized version of the 222. So plan is use the bombers to try and get all this unlocked and then move on. Do one rank at a time. Eventually, at some point, I'll get to rank 5 and I get to play with helicopters. At some point. Without further ado, let's get some bombing and let's get some bombers in there. Let's play some French. Oh. Yes, Piper, I'm making fun of you. Try to get some pipe band stuff in this week. That didn't happen. My son decided to get sick. Well, he didn't decide to get it. It's almost sound like it's he did it intentionally. He's 4. So he got sick. We had to get him swabbed with the COVID thingy. Took it like a champion. The lady wasn't sure she got enough sample, and then he sneezed and put a goober on his hand. She was like, "Oh my god, yes, scoop!" It's probably the best results they probably had. It's like, "Oh, perfect, thank you." Yeah, poor kid. Took it like a champ. Haven't had one yet. Don't plan on it yet. So he still just has a cold today. So I missed out band practice last week or on Wednesday because uh, he was sick. So I told that to the guys. They understood. I haven't been to the band practice in 18 months. I'm a backup bass drummer, or as we declare, I'm the parade bass drummer because my back's not that bad and I can stand on one leg because I bumped my knee up when I was in high school. So I literally just sit there and hit a bass drum. I'm a dancing bass drummer. I'm the only one allowed to move. How to keep the guy with the ADHD entertained? Give him a bass drum. That is where Panda and I met at cadet camp. As Panda was a piper and I am a drummer. So we met then. We also met Phantom Piper. You might see him in the comments time to time. We met him there as well. His memory shit. He doesn't remember. I don't blame him. Piper Carey, another person we went to cadets with. I'm actually still good friends with a lot of people I went to camp with. I was like 33 years old. We didn't met to like almost 20 years ago, and we're still great friends today. Like, and we live all around the country. Panda, Phantom Piper, and a couple other guys we know all live in Saskatchewan. We met people in BC. I know people from cadets in the territories. Um, Piper Carey, she lives in Quebec. Like, cadets, they pretty much they gave us the opportunity to travel and meet other people from this country around this country, which is great. I met a lot of people I wouldn't. Cadets gave me opportunities I would never have gotten if I didn't join cadets. And I'm glad I stuck with it. I'm glad I did what I did because my parents gave me the choice in high school, continue on in cadets or soccer, which I didn't understand picking between the two because cadets was free. Soccer is the only thing we paid for. And I was working at the time, so 16 I was working, so I could pay my own soccer bills for the year. Okay, where is the base? So targets destroyed 6. Sweet. And have until I have this thing set to realistic, so a PBY. Catalina. Doesn't carry a lot of bombs. I think it carries less than this thing does. How small this base is, I'm going to have to... Or this map is. It's going to have to be... If my older children lived with me, Lorelai, I'm talking to you mostly if you're actually come on my channel. I actually recommend cadets. The problem is you gotta have a parent who's willing to go. I think unfortunately she wouldn't be able to do that with her current place of residence because they're far out of the city of Barrie. I think George, I gotta arrange to go see them sometime. No, a lot of the restrictions are lifted. Like I might be able to pull it off. Jen as an RN. My wife's a nurse, and since it'd be more difficult to try and arrange that, keep her healthy because she deals with elderly patients and very sick patients. So not because it's because she's a nurse. No, she works on the medical floor in her hospital. So I wouldn't want her pass anything on. Like if my other kids are sick and don't say anything, I'd hate to get my wife sick and potentially damage any credibility she has at her work. It sucks because I like to see my kids. I spent 3 years away from them when I lived out west. Not by choice, it was difficult. And I did deploy for an entire year. Oh yeah, the wheels are down. Turn off the engines. Let this thing fly out of the sky like a brick. I do love being in the military. I hate my job, but I love being in the military. I've done some amazing crew things. I've seen place. I really did fall for the whole crap of join the Navy, get to see the world. What they forget to tell you, the world's 75% water. It's a lot of various different shades of blue. I thought I'd throw this like, doo. Now what? Uh, if I didn't join the military, I would never gone to Oman, Dubai, Seychelles Islands, Singapore. Well, yeah, I would never gone to Singapore. Probably Pearl Harbor one day. So the deployment I went on in 2019, we left Victoria, went to Pearl Harbor. Well, we went down to San Diego because we were with a consort ship. Didn't stay in San Diego. The Winnipeg went. Is it the Winnipeg? Yeah, the Winnipeg went into Diego. We waited for them outside. And we carried on to Pearl Harbor with them. It was us, the Winnipeg, and the motor vessel Asterix, our civilian operated supply ship. Ah, shit. Make it back to base, you prick. I got pretty good, though. Leak fuel, you prick. Run out of oil and crash. Did he crash? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Yes! Ah! You did not survive! uh, missed. The hard part about bombers in this, when you're doing realistic, there's no reticle. Literally, you're guessing where to drop the bombs. That was a good fight. All right, let's stop pitter and patter and getting at her. That's exactly what we're doing. Let's get the B-17 in. First strike, so I killed the first base. Triples. Oh, okay, yeah, I killed multiple targets. Multi-ground targets. And eye for an eye. I killed the guy who killed me. What is it? Not bad. All right. To the Japanese B-17. So, secondary armament, I have the 6,000 pound bombs. So 6,000 pounds of bombs, which, like, the B-17, like, even if you look at the Japanese, they have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Max load. What's that? So that's 6,000. That's I can't even do the math. So if I go to the 17, yeah. So 5, same. So if I go to its British counterpart. I'm talking about the B-17 here. So its counterpart would be the Lancaster 3. Like, let alone like 4,000 pound bomb and 4,000 pound bomb, 6 1,000 pound bombs, and 500 or yeah 500 pound bombs. They had 3 Lancasters slated as backups for the atomic bomb program because the way the B-29 was set up. Let's see if I can America. And I'm pretty sure this one is set up to that configuration. Preview. Armor. No, no. I am pretty sure. I can't test flight yet. I'm pretty sure there's 2 bomb bays. Like this is B-29 Alpha. So yeah, the Alpha was the 2 bomb bay. Like this could not carry an atomic bomb. This was just a bomber. So they had to take these back to the drawing board and go back into production or modified production to the B variant, which went from 2 bomb bays to 1. They had to make the bomb bay deeper to make the bombs fit because Fat Man and Fat Man and Little Boy were too big for this plane. Lancaster, man, the thing was dropping 22,000 pound grand slams. Like the biggest bomb until the Moab. I'm not sure. There's probably been a couple more big ones. Moab's 21,000 pounds. Like, Literally, for the Lancaster, they just take the doors off. Like, yeah, we'll mount a bomb to that. Ah, conventional bombs don't do anything. Make one bigger. The Lancaster is an amazing aircraft. But it's like, well, just design a bomber for the bomb. Just use the British. They've already mount rigged them, got them ready for American bombing. Just mount the bombs underneath. They also figured out how to refuel them in the air too, because they flew with three other Lancasters who flew ahead of the stream, or ahead of the other Lancasters, and they did air-to-air refueling. Yeah, the British figured it out. Literally, they just cinch a hose down to the other plane and glug, 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 like you fuel your car 20,000 feet in the air through a door in the roof. What? I think they got the idea for air-to-air refueling. It's genius. Don't believe me, look it up. I've been telling people to do that all day. People argue with me on the internet, and I'm a history brat or a history geek. History's kind of my jam, so I look things up. Where was I? Ah, this monstrosity. So, it has bomber, pilot, co-pilot, no navigator, believe it or not. No navigator. Radio op, which is also a gunner. Then the ball turret. This is pre-ball turret, so it didn't have the ball turret mounted. So it's the same as the other one. So it's the E. And then two waist gunners and the tail gunner. Yes, if you haven't noticed, I like to rant or just jibber jabber, talk crap. Working on the trying to eliminate cussing from my vocabulary. I'm in the Navy. Let's have fun with that one. I'm in the Navy. My dad's a welder, gone trucker, and my brother's a welder. My childhood growing up was a very colorful place. My mom never understood. She's like, "Why are you guys always swearing?" Because we do. Get over it. All right. So I haven't tried this yet because the last time I tried this, I ended up flying this thing on a freaking carrier battle, so I couldn't reload, and they didn't have bases. Now, okay, this has bases, so I can test the theory. Let's see if I can hit two bases per bomb. Yeah, I caught on. Two bombs per base. Okay, this might be difficult. There's a privateer right there. Is that a privateer? Demolition Man. Nice. I admit, it's a very, except for that monstrosity right there, it's a very nice looking plane. Remember if I said it on here before, um, they actually they were developing I think it's XB40. It's literally, you take out the gun, right, the rear facing gun there, you put another dorsal turret gun like that on there, and added two more guns per station. So that's day two. Those two would be two, 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 and it'd have the chin mounts guns in the front end, and then the ball turret. And it literally turned into a flying bunker. So instead of having unreliable Mustang pilots who always seeking glory, like for the red, like they came up with the idea during the Red Tails, like what non-red tail pilots would seek. Go watch actually the movie Red Tails, and then this watch Tuskegee Airmen first, and then watch the Red Tails, as it's actually both of them are great movies. Um, both tell a very true story on what happened, or it's Hollywoodized to shit, but it's a compelling story of the African American pilots went through during World War II. It's part of history, and it's what we have to live through. But yeah, it was very well done. Every few months I drove both of them on and watched them both. But yeah, because of what white pilots were doing during the war, just like, oh, German planes, fighter race. Okay, the privateer got that one. Shit. Get the bombs out, get the bombs out, get the bombs out, get the bombs out. There we go. Maybe they hit something. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. No. That's the one I need to hit, and I'm about a couple kilometers off. Turn hanger, yes. Alright. So, yep. I didn't really get to show anything, but these bombing runs are not something like very entertaining to stream. And I suck at fighters. Like ground attack, I'm not bad at until I do a nosedive into a tree somewhere. Let's. Yeah, do arcade. You notice I'm very indecisive. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Alrighty. let's just get the big bomber out of the way first. Blow some shit up, i.e., tanks and bunkers. It's like fly low and just fly over the. What? Oh, yeah, jackass. You're flying the Japanese one. See, this is exactly the same as the Japanese one. So this is an E as well. Alright, I'm gonna drop my bombs on that tank column, and I'm going to get stupid low. Whoops. Oh, it's too much fun. Too much fun, that is. Default ground and armor targets. Yep, bombs would be the best. Fire in the hole. Free XP, why not? But itchy. They have armament. They have offensive armament and defensive armament. Yeah, they're not that good. Alright, so let's hit this column. Oh, missed the tree. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Best Keanu Reeves approach pushing there at the end. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, it won't be unloaded in time. My gunner dead? Yeah. Yeah, my gunner's dead. If I can get these bombs off and... Oh, no. Oh, I was right there! Killjoy. Fucking jug. Alright, so... Can't change those. Well, I got that kill. I think. Kill assist. Probably kill assist. B-25J. Not a bad aircraft. Can I pounce on this thing? Didn't. 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 Get him, gunners, get him! Tail gunner's dead. Oh no, I lost my stabilizer. Just as I was going on the ground attack. Well, that's it for bombers. Now for the interceptors. Or the end of the game. Three air kills, 5 ground kills, 3 assists. Nice. No, I'm working on the PBM1 Mariner. Okay, so that is the SBC-25 250-pound bomb. Next is the 500-pound, and oh, there it is, 1,000-pound bomb. Yeah, that's the Black Widow. It's actually a decent aircraft. I built a few of these model kits just like I built a few of the bow fighters. I don't have the planes up here, so I can't really showcase them. But up there, above my head, is my unfinished Panther D. Where's an A? I can't tell. It's the box is obscured by another model kit. Well, hour and a half. I gotta clean the kitchen because the wife asked me to. But I think everyone's listened to me ramble enough tonight. Luckily, I didn't go too far. So, yeah. Thank you for joining me this evening on this chaotic chaos that I call my gaming history. It's nice to get back into playing War Thunder Air. Hopefully, actually, I can confirm this now. as long as some pain in the tushy wife of mine works on Wednesdays, I can get I can stream. Where are we? So flip this to August. No. Maybe I can encourage you to pick up a shift. I may come on on Wednesday. I might come on and play a round of Company of Heroes. Just try and finish off first game. I got a year before the next one comes out anyway, so no real rush. Thursday. Actually, let's test this now. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna test it now while I'm on live right now. I got some good gameplay in with other stuff. This way I can pass on the Panda how well this worked with. Just ignore that right there. Pass on the Panda how well this worked.